Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. I actually decided to not do the arena video for today. Reason being is actually pretty simple. I wanted to do something else and I kinda had a long day. So I kinda didn't get the time to do it. So I mean I got the time to do the arena video, but I wanted to make a different video. Somebody made a comment on my videos, and he said, could you maybe make a video where you can tell people what good setups or good units that are farmable could be, um, like that are farmable and are useful for every player? For most of the time, we talk about what setups are good and we check at monsters. And for example, people have Chloe's and they have all those crazy units. For example, for me, I got a Lucian, I got a Iona. Those are so specific monsters. Not everyone is gonna have them, and that is something that he said, like, could you maybe make like a guide or something about some setups? And I thought it was a good idea, uh, but I also got another comment about a specific unit, and I'll go into that in a minute. But basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you guys two setups that are kind of not seen that often, but actually are farmable or really easy to obtain, and that you might. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to use that setup exactly, but it might give you an insight of what is possible with some units. And to start off with the video, somebody asked me, hey, Blacky Bear, I see a lot of Guardian players using the bounty hunters, the fire one and the um, most of them are actually using the water one, but the fire one, Randy, actually is something that is a cool little combo together with another unit, and I'll tell you all about it right now. Why would the heck would you use a bounty hunter? I mean, they're not that great, right? I mean, they're pretty fast, so that's pretty nice. But what is the reason? It's not his first skill. It's nice if it happens, not ignoring armor. It's also not a second skill. I mean, it's not really that insane. But his third skill, Randy increased the crit and defense. Now you might say, what, crit and defense? It's not really the best two stats that I want to have, but they're useful. And they're really useful for one specific unit. The unit, like if you would combo Randy together with the living armor. I think some people already seen this, a video about this, seeing somebody doing this. There's someone on the Asian servers, and he is doing that. Now, what is the reason for this? Is because Thunderstrike does damage, and if you have more defense than the opponent unit, then you will do more, ignore his armor. So what is gonna happen is the following: if you rune up Copper with Rage Guard in the best, like this is the best situation ever, right? Rage Guard, and have two defense percent runes, so on 2 and on 6, and on 4 you have crit damage runes, and then on your subset you have a lot of crit. So basically then the unit will have a high amount of defense because of the defense runes, and a high amount of crit damage, and the buff of Randy is gonna buff his crit to 100% because you need 70% crit, and then with Randy you will buff it to 100%, and his defense got increased. And now Copper will always crit, and this Thunderstrike will do from 25 to 40k damage. Like for real, it's insane. It's really, basically with this setup, if you have the correct runes and if they're really good, you'll one shot anything. And to make it even more fun, you could actually add Bernard to this mix. Make Bernard your leader. Bernard will give 30% attack power to wind units, so this also helps in hitting harder on the living armor. But more reason for body slam, you can decrease the defense. So if Bernard would increase the defense, decrease the defense, that would be great. Now obviously if you have Bernard, you will speed up then Randy will buff up, and then Copper will go. So it's not ideal to use Bernard here, but if we go with Belladion and Bernard, so Bernard leader, and then use Belladion as one of the units that will give you more time in matches where you have to take out more units. Belladon is going to provide you with that big heal, and he also provides you with Scratch. So now you have Bernard being the fastest unit. Then you have probably Randy that buffs up as second, and then Belladion. It could also be the Belladion is faster, but that doesn't really matter. And then Copper. So what is going to happen? You buff up in speed, you buff up in attack and you buff up in defense and crit, and then you do a defense break on the unit, and then you do Thunder Strike. That Thunder Strike is gonna hit for a lot. You're probably gonna one shot whatever you're targeting. It doesn't even matter. I think you're gonna just kill it. This is a setup that is kind of unknown, and I'm telling you guys right now, that setup will work, but you need good runes, obviously. Any setup will be like usable, but the runes need to be good to make the setup really awesome, and that's something you guys have to take into account. I mean, it's not like you can go with this setup and get away with bad runes, but this is a really it's a setup that's not being seen a lot. Like, it's not the most common setup, and this is just something to give you guys an insight. Maybe you're saying, hey, I actually have Copper, I actually got some rage runes that are decent. Why not try it out? I mean, obviously Randy is actually a monster that you cannot farm, but Randy is a monster, so that's the bounty hunter, is a monster that you will get summoned eventually, because you can summon it from mystical scrolls by having it summoned as a 3-star, or you can get him from unknown scrolls. You'll eventually summon him. Same goes for the living armor. You'll eventually summon him. And Bernard and Veladon are really easy to get. So these, I mean, if you get this unit, don't just throw him away because it's trash, because you might be able to use him if you have the living armor, for example. So this is a good arena offense, and I actually know that this setup is being used a little bit different, but the combo is exactly the same. And that's a Guardian player. Like, he's on the Asian server, he's a Guardian. And it's crazy. He's actually known because of his living armor. I don't even know his channel, but I actually had some contact with him, and he showed me some videos, and it was insane. Now for a defense that you could think of. The defense is gonna look a lot like mine. Like, I have right now I have Draco, Belladion, Darien, and Iona. Obviously, my defense exists out of 2 units that are almost just luck to get, so that's Draco and Iona, but the other 2 units are farmable. So Belladion, the lightning Gami, and Darien, those 2 units, if you would combo them, like, they just work really good together, because they both have the defense break. They just are good units. So if you have those 2, you kind of want to have a reviver if you want to make that, and we can get a reviver with the fusion. So we can get that. We can get Mikey, the Water Indian, when she's awakened. Let's go to the awakened form. Where are you, Mikey? Maki, I don't even know. I think it's Mike. So Mikey could be your reviver. So we have Darien, Belladion, and Mikey. And then we need something with a good leader skill that might help you out. Obviously, you could go with her as leader skill and then add another water unit to the mix, but I don't really know what water unit would be really awesome to use here. Maybe actually Konamiya might not even be a bad idea there, but that wouldn't give you too much damage. So maybe you want to go for something more heavy on damage. To be honest, if I would actually go for something else. For that, like, last spot, you want to find something that could provide you a leader skill that is somewhat beneficial for the whole team. So Beretta could be definitely an option because she's a speed leader. And she does some decent dots, but you will need to rune her up for defensive uses. Like you don't rune her up for any. I think actually, if I'm honest with you guys, Beretta is probably the best option here. So for example, you could fuse Beretta and the Water Undine, make Beretta have Despair focus with 2 slot is gonna be either speeds or HP, and 4 slot is gonna be HP, 6 slot is gonna be accuracy. Then have the Water Undine. I want to get the awakened version. Get the Water Undine on preferable, like in a perfect world, we would prefer to have Violent Endure or something, or Violent Will. And then, or you could also, well, Violent, yeah, Violent would be definitely best, but get some crit on her to get this Ice Drop to land crit. If you crit, you freeze something, really good skill. And then you just get Belladon and Darien and you rune them up. Preferable with violent runes, right? But you could also just rune Vagabond with, for example, one set of Revenge, and then the other sets are just whatever you have the best runes in. And the Ingami with Violent, preferable, or Swift Focus. So, but this is a defense that's farmable and fusible. And this is a defense that you could make that will work. And it looks a lot like mine. I'm not saying it's the best defense ever, but it's not a bad one either. You could actually even use the Fairy Queen as leader, not because she has a perfect leader skill, but it's a good leader skill. I mean, it's not the best, but it's good. It's still speed, and she actually has the stun and the heal and the attack power boost, so that's actually not a bad idea either. Since everyone has this unit, it's not a bad idea. You could just go Fairy Queen, Darien, Belladion, and Mikey. That's definitely an option you can do because even though the Beretta gives like 9% more speed, the full light team will probably be a little bit better because the Fairy Queen is actually a support monster, I think. So she will have a bigger health pool overall. So that's definitely 2 setups that I just wanted to tell you guys about. That could maybe give you some insight on things you can do. Like if you have a few units and you have like, oh, I got so bad units, there are actually setups that are really good. They are not even having a 4-star unit or having a 5-star unit. I mean, I did call out some 4-star units, but they're obtainable by this. Like you can just get this unit, or you just can get this one. It's really easy, all secret dungeons. So, well, this one you need to summon, but you'll get that unit eventually. Same goes for the Grim Reaper. Eventually you'll get this unit. The rest is just farmable. And yeah, I hope this video actually helps you out a little bit. There's one more unit I want to talk about that I just thought to answer the question of one of the subscribers that asked me, like, why are Wayne and Randy, that are the bounty hunters, being used? Well, Rain is being the fire one, that's Randy, is being used in that specific combo I explained about the living armor copper together with him because of his specific buff. Where is he? And then you would rune up copper with the rage set because this is a specific buff for crit and defense, and that's perfect for copper. Now we go to the water bounty hunter. The reason why this unit is being used quite often by a lot of high-end players is because actually it's one of the units that has a good AI that almost always does ready to ambush first, and then it will use the other skills. So that's also, it's a fast unit to begin with. So that's basically the main reason why this guy is being used. He just has that that ready to ambush will almost always go off before Like he will almost always do this before anything else. That's why he's so good on defense. Like if you have a Megan, she kinda often doesn't do her buff. But for example, Chloe, she almost always does her buff. Not always, but a lot of the time. Also ready to ambush, attack bars increased, and your speed, so you're gonna probably get a turn before the enemy. That's why those two units are good. So if you get those units, they are just 3-star units, but they're not bad. So keep that in mind, guys. They're not the worst units to hold on to. I think I actually have the 2 bounty units in my storage right now, keeping on to them. Yeah, look. I just wanted to save those because I knew they were decent. And I want to save them now because it's not something you're going to work on right off the bat. But that was it, guys. I hope I gave you guys maybe a little bit of an insight. This could maybe help you think of a setup that could actually be pretty decent. And obviously if you have some good units like a 4-star or 5-star, you could maybe use them within a setup that I just told you, but just with a better unit. I mean, that's definitely possible. And this is just to give you guys an idea about what is possible and actually is being used. Like, it's not like these units are not being used. They're being used a lot in a lot of high rank arena as well. So only most of the time a lot of arena players have a 5-star or 4-star that does about the same but just better. Like for example, for me, I mean Mikey is a really good unit. That's the water ending, the reviver. All skills really matter. Like it's not that she has bad skills, but I got Iona, which is just having a better res, so that's why I use her. But it's not like the Waterendine is bad. She actually provides you with control, which Iona doesn't provide me with. So you could just say that maybe even the Waterendine is maybe useful in some situations, more useful than Iona in some situations. But yeah, that was it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys learned something from this, or at least got an insight or whatever. If you did, please let me know in the comments below if you like this, because I could definitely think of more setups. But I just thought, like, let's just provide you guys with these two, and then we'll see what you guys think about it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.